This is the Brandon D. Campbell podcast, where business and mindfulness meet to build a better leader in you. Here's your host, entrepreneur, mentor, and author, Brandon D. Campbell.
In light of the recent tragedy that occurred where NFL star wide receiver Rondale Moore committing suicide today, I'm going to share with you 4 tips to help young men and teens who are facing an emotional or mental health crisis. First, I wanted to say thank you to the Central Arkansas Library System, Hillary Rodham Clinton's Children's Library, for having me be a featured author at its annual Black History Month Book Festival. I met so many incredible people. I shared my book, Oh Brother, My Brother, as well as had some very thought-provoking conversations among parents and their children who are being raised in single-parent households, also being a part of a blended family. I was excited about how well it was received. Also, go to KNC Networks and check out my podcast appearance on Rebuilding the Bluff. It is by far the most deep conversation that I've ever had as it pertains to having interviews with the media in my entire life. So go and check that out. And now let me pivot to what has recently happened. Rondale Moore, the wide receiver with the Minnesota Vikings, who committed suicide several days ago. And when I read the news, I just thought about that moment in time where this young man, who was still in his 20s, he was 25 at the time, got to a space where he couldn't see hope at the end of the moment, at the end of the rainbow, in the space that he was in. He didn't see an out. I believe he was going through a tunnel, and I've been depressed before, where you just feel like no one sees you, no one understands you, and there's nowhere to turn. And my heart, my mind, my spirit, condolences goes out to him, his loved ones, because I know if they could have done anything in their power to make sure he will still be here, they would have done so. And so it just breaks my heart, because these situations have happened often, more so now than ever before. When I was growing up, now as an adult, we're seeing this happen, especially with successful men, especially Black men who are committing suicide. And this just kind of reminded me why I wrote the book, Oh Brother, My Brother. To get to these young men and women early on in their life, during those times where they are developing their emotional infrastructure, during those times where they're trying to identify who they are, but to make connection so that they can become emotionally secure and mentally secure individuals. Because these are emotional challenges. It's a certain emotional damage that has taken place in their lives early on. And if we don't get to them a lot sooner, that love that we pour into them, it's like a cup that we're trying to pour into them. It's just going down. It's like a cup with a hole in it, and then you're pouring water in it and it's just going down, falling at the bottom of that cup. And so today I'm going to just do my best to give you 4 tips that I believe that can help support young men and teenagers who are going through an emotional crisis, who may be considering crashing out, doing something to harm others as well as themselves. And this is not a laughing matter. This is an opportunity for us as people in the community to find ways that we can save lives and save families from being broken. Because when you lose someone, no matter how he leaves, especially the father of the patriarch of a family, when he leaves, that's a void that takes place. And so here are my four tips, Brandon D. Campbell's 4 tips that I believe that can help men who are going through emotional and mental health crisis. The first thing, you better think. Those three words, you better think. That comes from Aretha Franklin's hit song that she's known for, Respect. Because as a man, and the data even backs this up, that the number one thing that we want, that we crave in life is respect. That's what validates us. That makes us know that we are important to this community, to this world, to our families, is respect. So number one, you better think. That right there gives you an opportunity to take a step back and think before you act. So that allows you an opportunity to respond versus do something drastic. The second thing that I have is who is that one person that you can call that you know if you call, they're going to pick it up? Maybe it's someone who's a friend of yours. I didn't say text, I said call. Maybe it's a spouse, a family member. I thought about that meme that went around, that was very popular several years ago about, someone has a gun to your head, pardon the example, because this is not a laughing matter, but if someone has a gun to your head and you have to make one phone call, and if they answer it, they won't shoot. Who will that person be? For me, I have the privilege of saying that person is my father. I know that if I call him, he's going to pick up the phone. It don't matter what type of work he's doing. He's going to pick up the phone. He's someone I can depend on in moments. And if he doesn't pick up, he's going to call me right back. And so who's that one person? And put him on speed dial. And then have a backup plan, a B person as well too. And so number 3, I think this is important. Retaining your autonomy as a man, whether you're working on a job or you are in a committed relationship, retaining your autonomy is so important because it makes up who you are. Your individualism is important to you as a man. And so what is that thing that makes you who you are, that you love to do, that isn't harming anyone, that's not harming yourself, and it brings a certain level of peace to you? I would recommend it be in an environment, maybe it's dealing with self-expression or being around other like-minded, positive men. And, so for me, my thing that I like to do is, on occasion, I go to a cigar lounge. It's not about the smoking of the cigars. It's about having that man-to-man connection and meeting other successful men gathered around what we love, and that is sports. And I often find out that there are men out there who I share a lot of common interests with. Most time these are individuals who love sports, but also I learn a lot about the communities that I'm in as well too. And I'm a history buff and I love history. And so this is a way for me to connect and learn something at the same time. So what is that thing that it's one of those things that is a deal breaker for you? Maybe it's golfing, maybe it's fishing, maybe it is watching sports, maybe it's going on a walk by yourself. But what is that thing? And never lose sight of that, no matter what. That is a deal breaker to you. So find your autonomy and stay with that. If it's friends that are caring about you, keep those friends around you as much as possible. That's very important. And the fourth and final thing is give yourself grace. Yes. The amount of grace and empathy that you give to others, turn around and give it to yourself because you deserve it. You are entitled to give yourself grace. Okay? And so, thank you. Those are my 4 tips for any man, I believe, who is going through some emotional and mental turmoil and is really thinking about doing something negative to harm someone else or themselves. This isn't a laughing matter. I'm tired of seeing this on the internet, people laughing about someone who reacts and has a moment who harms himself or harm the other person or goes to jail or have to experience some level of consequence. It's not a laughing matter. It's something that we have to do as a community to help save our communities. And by saving our communities, it is to make sure that our men are still here with their families, to make sure that our women are still here with their families, to make sure that there is love surrounding them at all times, and they know that they have the space to have security, to feel safe and secure in their own skin. And we're going to give them grace and love for it. So That's what I have for today. Thank you. And if you're interested in learning more about me and my work, please go to my website, brandondcampbell.com, and pick up my very first book, Oh Brother, My Brother, story about two half brothers who are going through the world, trying to understand their identities and who they are and what brotherhood looks like for them growing up in a blended family. So check that out. Oh Brother, My Brother, brandondcampbell.com.